My name is Jason Benet. Today we have a very special guest.
I wanted to be different. I wanted to be something more than just a gross out horror film.
It was required by your contract that you had to deliver nudity and violence.
Wow, that really looks gross. Like, it's real.
We were actually in the cave, so there weren't any crocodiles there. The water was freezing. We didn't actually swim in them.
You know, I was scared, but I really liked the rush of it.
I'm a huge Dario Argento fan. I would happily have a giallo night.
The Thing and The Stuff. It sounds like I'm just saying gibberish, but those are names of movies.
The horror genre always evolves into something you're not expecting.
Why are we going here if everyone's died in this house?
I was actually scared as we were running through it.
Most of these guys who play really horrible characters are such sweet guys.
Part of this like ongoing cult.
Anytime there's something spooky to be seen or heard or read, I'm there.
Horror has always felt like home to me.
Benet's Bloody Bits.
Welcome to Triple B. My name is Jason Benet. Good news just came through that MVD Rewind is going to put the Bikini Car Wash Company 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. That's going to be on May 13th. Now the question is, what version is it going to be? There is a more tamer version where nudity is cut out and a love scene is made shorter. I hope that's not what we're going to get. We don't have the details of what version is coming, but let's just hope that's the one we're going to get because this movie hasn't been available for a long time. I first saw these films way back in my days working at Blockbuster Video on 7th and Terminal in my hometown of Long Beach, California. I worked at one of the busiest locations in California. Right next door was the district office, the corporate office, and I was able to walk over there on my lunch breaks and grab screeners for free. They didn't even care. I would open up this cabinet. There'd be a bunch of films, and they were VHS with a gatefold in the front, selling you the story of the film. If you order so many copies, you get a standee. If you order 10 copies, you get this and that. And that was very cool. I was very privileged to be able to have that access to those things. And in that time, Bikini Car Wash 1 and 2 were movies that I grabbed, and I remember watching them, and they're just very fun TNA films. They're not hardcore. They're not softcore. They're straight up sex comedies of the time. This is the early 90s, so 1992, 93. But let's see what we're going to get with this disc release that we do know. The Bikini Car Wash Company and the Bikini Car Wash Company 2 were originally shot and produced on standard definition videotape. To present these films in the best possible quality, both feature films have been converted, remastered, and upgraded from their original standard definition 480p resolution to high definition 1080p resolution using the latest advanced upconversion AI models and presented in their 1:3:1 original aspect ratios in order to provide the best viewing possibility. Okay, where do you guys sit on AI? I guess that's a big sticking point for this. I know these films have never looked good. MVD has been sitting on these titles for a while, and what was keeping them from getting released was, what do we do about the picture quality? Because with Blu-ray, there's some expectations. They don't want it to look like video cassettes. So I'm not anti-AI. I think there's a purpose for it. If this is the only way we can get these movies on Blu-ray, I'm okay with it, as long as people don't start looking like wax figures, like when Peter Jackson and James Cameron get a hold of their old films and it just goes to looking like shit. So we don't know until the movie gets, unless they give us some screen grabs or something, or we wait till May 13th, the street date when it comes out to see it. We're not going to know for sure. And also we're not going to know what version. Is it the more naughtier version, the more TNA heavy, which the movie is? That's what it's all about. That's the whole point of these films. I'm not sure who edited it years ago. I'm not sure if that was a DVD copy that looked like that. But let's give a plot crunch of these films so you guys know what they're about. The Bikini Car Wash Company. What happens when you put a bunch of bodacious California babes behind the wheel of a busy car wash? Jack McGowan's about to get the wild and wacky answer. When the naive Midwesterner comes to LA to run his ailing uncle's car wash, he makes a few wrong turns and ends up at the beach. He is rescued by foxy business major Melissa Reeves, who convinces Jack to let her run the business for a cut of the action. Things get hilariously out of hand as Melissa and her bubbly friends dress for success in the skimpiest bikinis or nothing at all. So there are three main girls in this film, and there's one of them's a brunette. I've always had a soft spot for brunettes. I don't believe in blondes have more fun. I think brunettes do. She's played by Kristi Ducati. She's the lead in this film as well as the sequel. She was also in an episode of Married with Children, and she had a bigger part in Meatballs 4 with Corey Feldman. And actually, if you look at the poster artwork for Meatballs 4 next to Bikini Car Wash Company, she looks almost exactly the same, wearing a bikini. She didn't have a long career. It looks like she left in 1995 was the last film she did. I'm not sure why her career trajectory went the way it did. Did she go into another field? Did she start a family? But she is missed, and she's beautiful. And the original film is actually produced, and the screenplay is by George Buck Flower, the famous character actor who's been in a bunch of John Carpenter films. I like that we get this little nugget of information that he was behind the scenes as opposed to being in front of the camera. As far as the sequel goes, just when you thought it was safe to ask for extra wax, those wild washing women are back for more sudsy fun. When a weaselly business magnate tries to buy out the car wash, the gals turn to a cable lingerie business to raise some needed funds, and when they pose, more than funds get raised. Unfortunately, it does suffer from what happens in most sequels. The original gave you TNA almost at every turn. You were never bored. This one tends to be more business-oriented. You still get the three lovely leads. There's nudity and stuff, but it definitely misses the mark. I think a lot of it has to do with the script. Maybe for budget reasons, they couldn't go crazy with it. But if I were to sit down and write this sequel, you have another bikini car wash company that opens down the street. They're competing with you. They're taking away your business. And you try to play a game of one-upsmanship. And okay, we're going to have even more beautiful babes than you do. They're going to go back and forth. Maybe they even offer more than a car wash. And there's your movie. But unfortunately, that's not the route this film goes. It's still a good film. It's a fun sequel. It's just not the original one. It kind of is a disappointment in that sense. So I think it's very smart that MVD Rewind puts these as a double feature. And one thing I do want to say, I really think that these boutique labels, for all the kind of genres they put out, what is going on with sex comedies and erotic thrillers? And I'm not talking mainstream. I'm talking low budget, direct-to-video, home video titles, like movies like Inner Sanctum and Possessed by the Night, and all these films that are just, there's no disc release as far as Blu-ray. They either haven't been put on video since VHS or DVD, and it could be 10, 20 years ago they were released, and the picture quality wasn't good, and it was not the right version. So there is an absolute market for these films, and Culture Shock Releasing is doing a good job. MVD Rewind's doing a great job as well. But a lot of these other companies just seem to be scared of them, and they don't want to put them out. And I think they're leaving money on the table. They're losing out on a lot. Every time one of these movies gets put out, the internet goes abuzz because people are like, oh, cool, I never thought that was going to come out. So, hey, if you guys are listening, get on it. Eventually, the horror exploitation genres will run dry when it comes to disc releases, and you're going to have to fall back on these other films. So you might as well start now as opposed to waiting till later. But to recap, May 13th, a Blu-ray double feature of the Bikini Car Wash Company 1 and 2. I'm glad to own it when it comes out. I hope it's the uncut version. And the word is still out as far as what this AI upscale is going to look like. They're going to end up looking wonky. I don't know. But hopefully we'll find out soon so I could toss my bootleg in the trash and own the best version I possibly can of these films. Thank you guys for watching. Stay sexy and enjoy some comedies and mix it up. And I'll talk to you soon.